now. So the first card you have for your past is the Five of Swords. Horrible card. Yes, no one likes this card. Look at his face. He's got such a pointy nose and he looks really nasty. I don't like him. So, yeah. Okay, so I think this is about, I'm just looking at these two men walking away. So this is about walking away. It's about finally walking away. And I think after a long time of soul searching, that's what you decided to do. And I think for a long time you were thinking about someone, still thinking about them for a long time. And you didn't know why. Logically you knew that you shouldn't be thinking about them, but you still were. I was like, why am I still thinking about this person? I know I'm better off without them. I know I'm better than this. I'm worth more than this. You knew that. And you are better than that. You are worth more than that. And, but I think at this time, it was just the ending of this. It was like the last remnants of the memories of this person were kind of still in your head. I'm actually seeing a face popping into your head. It's like this person's face kept on popping up into your head and you're going, no, why is this person's face in my head? So, I actually think it's a lot more difficult today to try to forget someone than it used to be with social media everywhere. Pictures of people are still everywhere, all over the place. Way past the time when we physically stop seeing them. We can still keep on looking at their images if we want to. And sometimes people can become almost like a celebrity. I'm not saying you thought of them as a celebrity, but it's like we grow up with celebrities and we're surrounded by the pictures, and they're not really in our lives, but they are, if that makes sense. So it's like, oh, I grew up with this actress. I grew up with this, with this musical artist or whatever. I grew up with them. You did grow up with them, but you didn't really, because you didn't know them. So it's like two different things. So, so it's like when you break up with someone, if you still choose to look at their social media or see things of them, they can still be in your life even though they're not. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope that makes sense. You're almost there now, though. I think you struggle to get them out of your mind. These two men are walking away, but they're walking toward the water, so there is still some emotion there for you, I think. And I think you might always have some feelings for them, actually. I'm not saying you will, definitely, but you might. And if that happens, that's okay. It doesn't mean you have to act on them. Doesn't mean you still want them. So, just remember that if you do still do that, don't think, oh no, that means I have to be with them, or oh, that means I'm not over them. No, it doesn't mean that. Sometimes it just means, okay, I just remembered something, or I just thought about this person. That's okay, and then just move on. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. So this was really a big turning point, I think. But I think you're finally you're finally turning your back on them at this time. Like these men are turning their back on this horrible man. So that's what I'm seeing now. I hope that made sense. I know I went a bit kind of funny. I go off track sometimes. I think of things. All right, so the next card you have you past is the Ten of Wands. Yeah, look at this big struggle. So it's not going to be super easy. It's not going to be like, oh, now that I've turned my back on this person, I'm skipping through the roses. It's not going to be quite like that. There's a lot of work involved. Again, I'm seeing you're still going to be a little bit emotional. You're still going to have some feelings for them. That's what I'm seeing. There's work here. There might be times when you're even tempted to contact them. That's what I'm seeing. And it might be hard for you to see, it might be hard for you to see exactly where you're heading now. Because I think you thought you were going down one path with this person, and now you're going down a different path. So you might be a little bit lost there and you can't quite see where you're going. Because I think your future used to be around them. It was like, oh, my future's with them and we're going to do this and we're going to, and now it's like, oh, now what do I do? My future's a lot more uncertain. And if you look at this man, he can't see where he's going. So you kind of feel a bit like that as well. So that's going to be a struggle as well. But I think if this is all resonating with you, I think gradually you are going to start to drop these wands, these burdens. And, again, stay away from social media. That's another thing. But that. that. I've already talked about that. But yeah, just be kind to yourself. Do everything you possibly can that you love, everything you enjoy that has nothing to do with this person. Just do that. You're a very strong person. Just remember that. And eventually you'll drop these wands and you'll be able to see exactly where you need to go. You'll have a new start. You'll have a new path. You probably haven't found that yet, which is what I'm seeing here, but you will soon. So the last card you have, you pass the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, fantastic card. Obviously, I think that's a fantastic card. So what I'm seeing here is this is a kind of a time of quiet, a time of peace for you before you're ready to start acting and doing things. I think you've already started some kind of, it's some kind of a business venture, I think, or it might be a new job. There's a lot of dynamism around this thing. It's not like a normal job. It's something that's quite exciting. It's interesting. I am getting a little bit of a slump. That's what I'm feeling. It's like, a bit of a slump around this thing. I think your enthusiasm might be a bit down, or it might have been at this time. And that makes sense with everything that's been happening. Yeah, it's probably your personal life that's kind of hijacked this thing a bit. You've kept going. I don't think you've stopped, but your heart hasn't totally been in this thing. I'm just looking at this scene on this card. I don't know if you can see. I'll just move it up so you can see. Yeah, there's it's like a spring scene. It's not totally sunny, but it feels kind of spring-like to me. It's kind of warm, and there are new flowers blooming on the grass, and the hedge is growing, and all of that. This garden, it's a kind of a manicured garden with things in rows and a path and a hedge and all that. It reminds me a little bit of historic movies, when someone's been out to war and they've been hurt or injured and they've been through something, and they're kind of sitting outside a hospital in probably in a wheelchair, usually in the garden, kind of getting some fresh air while they get better. That's what this kind of makes me think of. And I think this is what this time was like for you. It's like you were recovering, you're kind of recuperating. And I think you knew this was going to be a success in front of you with this beautiful coin that's there. But I think you just had to take this break, and you knew you had to, it was like you just had to recover before you were ready to kind of reach out and take this coin. The coin's still there. Just remember that if you are kind of sitting back and saying, I just need a rest for a while. But if you're feeling a bit anxious, like, oh no, I won't get this success, if I take this break, it's still going to be there. You can take your break, take your time. It's going to be there. Success is going to be there for you. I've seen that a lot in your readings. I'm seeing it again here. So the first card you have, your presence, Judgment. Okay, so if you look at the Five of Swords again, obviously it's a horrible card. It's right next to it. And obviously this person you walked away from, they weren't treating you well, obviously, when you have that card. So just be a little bit careful, because I'm actually seeing this person trying to reach out to you again. I'm actually seeing a conversation that's going to come up for you, and I think they're going to try to talk to you. They're going to try to open up to you a bit, and they're actually going to reveal some things to you. There's a little bit of a surprise in there. There's something they're going to say to you, and it's going to surprise you a bit. There might actually be an apology in there as well. But this card's all about waking up, these beautiful angels blowing his trumpet, everyone's standing to attention, everyone's listening. And I think this is what's going to happen when they contact you. It's like the trumpet's suddenly going to go off in your head, and it hasn't happened before. It's like they contact you and it's like, warning, the alarm's going off. That enough is enough excuses, enough going backwards and forwards. And it's this realization that nothing's going to change with them. Nothing's ever going to change. Even if they come back again and again, nothing has changed. That's what I'm seeing. And you're suddenly going to realize that. And you might listen to what they have to say, but you're absolutely moving on. This is really going to hit you. Really going to hit you. It's going to be like hearing this trumpet. It's going to wake you up, and you've heard some kind of apologies and explanations and things before. They've spoken to you before, but this time the trumpet's going off. This is a new thing. And this card could also be about a self-transformation as well. So I think this whole revelation is going to start with this trumpet going off, and then it's going to lead to a new life for you, actually, a whole new outlook. I know that sounds really dramatic, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm really, really, really happy to see this. It's going to be a shock. It's going to be like, oh, I finally realised that that's going to be the thing that's going to totally set you on this new path. I'm really, really, really happy to see all this. All right, so the next card you have your presence, the Page of Swords. Okay, so this is a really, obviously he's very defensive. He's up on top of this hill and he can see everything. And that's what you can see now. After this trumpet goes off and they come and talk to you, it's like, right, now I can see everything. I'm up on this hill. I know exactly what's going on. And I think you could already see pretty much everything. But then there's this last thing that comes out that they're going to tell you, this kind of surprise. But this is more about understanding everything emotionally, understanding where you've always stood with them, which wasn't very good and it wasn't in a very good place, because nothing's changing and you're realizing that nothing is ever going to change. And the beautiful thing about this is that now your mind's not on where you stand with them, it's now on where they stand with you. It's the other way around. So you're at the center of things now. Fantastic to see. The other thing is, okay, I'm seeing a really quick message. It's going to come in quickly to you. I'm seeing a phone call. I think the person who calls you, they're not going to have a lot of time. So it's going to be a little bit like, oh, I can't talk to you now. I just need to tell you this. It's something like that. I think this might be about something, a formality or something. It's about something you've forgotten, I think. It's like a quick reminder. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I'm seeing someone that you're taking care of, or someone that looks up to you, someone that's around you. I think this message is about them. Now, don't worry, it's not super serious. It's not something terrible. They're not hurt. It's nothing like that. This is about, it's about admin. It's about papers, forgetting to hand something. It's something like that. Sorry, I'm swallowing a lot. I'm sorry. I'm actually seeing, I'm seeing you kind of finding this out, getting this message, and then you're kind of running all around and you're trying to find papers you've lost and filling out forms, all of that kind of thing. There's a lot of craziness that's going to happen around that. But you'll get there, it'll fall into place in the end. And, you have a lot of responsibilities. You've got people looking up to you. I'm seeing this one person here looking up to you. And I think that's why you've forgotten whatever this is, You do have to cope with a lot, I think. You're coping with a lot on your own. So if that resonates, just know that, you're doing a really, really good job. That's what I'm seeing. You're doing really well. So I just felt as if I had to say that, because I don't think many people say that to you. And you're doing a fantastic job. All right, so the last card you have your presence, the Ace of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful card. And I love seeing it right next to the Ace of Pentacles. I love seeing them together like that. So I actually think this is a kind of a continuation of what I was seeing in the Judgment card. You're really going to be going through some really big changes. These are internal changes as well. That's what the Ace of Cups is usually about. And I think if this person was around you now, this person you've let go of, you wouldn't be able to make these big changes. It's like they had to step out of the way so that you could let these changes come in. These are really big spiritual changes. I think for a long time, you have been searching for some kind of peace. I'm just looking at the Dove on this card. You've been wanting peace. I'm just getting this feeling, and it's almost like a churning feeling. It feels as if I've got a washing machine inside my stomach and it's kind of turning around. It's a horrible feeling. It's going around and around. And I think you've been feeling these kind of emotional ups and downs a lot, and you wanted peace. You've been searching for peace. But I think with this person in your life, there was a lot of upset, a lot of problems. There was also a lot of excitement, and I think you might have equated that excitement with happiness. And I think maybe that's why you struggled letting go of them, because when they left, things were more content for you, but you also didn't have that excitement, if that makes sense. So I think subconsciously this might have been going on inside you, and then because of that, maybe the concept of peace might have meant the opposite of that to you, nothing happening, a bit boring. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. It might not resonate, but if it does, just kind of have a think about that. But peace isn't like that at all. It's not boring. It's like a foundation of contentedness, and that sort of underpins everything else. You can have exciting times, you can have interesting times, but you don't get those terrible lows because you have this basic foundation of peace inside you. So that's the process you're going through, or you're starting to. That's what this card's about. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm really happy to see that as well. The other thing I'm seeing here is friends, new friends. I actually think the spiritual change, it's going to attract a lot more like-minded people to you, and the right people to you, less chaotic people, definitely. And that's going to be fantastic for you as well. So you're going to realize that less chaos, less excitement, all of that is actually a good thing, and you can actually have peace in your life and have fun, excitement, and not have the downside of that, the kind of churning bad feeling, the kind of craziness around that. So that's really, really good to see as well. All right, so the first card you have for your futures, the Nine of Wands. Yeah, again, you're going to make a lot of new friends. It might be hard for you to believe that now, because I think you're probably still in this time of recuperation, rest, but you'll slowly get out of that recuperation mode, a bit like the man on this card. He's a soldier and he's been injured, he's got a bandage around his head, but he's coming out of that. He's very, very cautious. If you look at him, very, very careful, very cautious, but he's coming out. I'm actually seeing a sort of a merging of this spiritual process in the Ace of Cups and this work thing, or this business thing you're doing. I think this new outlook's really going to help with that as well, and I think you might be meeting like-minded people through that as well. So it's kind of like everything's sort of coming together. Every different kind of aspect of your life is all kind of going to merge together, because you'll have this peaceful core, and that's going to be at the center of everything. This is absolutely, I love this reading. It's so beautiful. I love this. All right, so the next card you have for your futures, the Six of Wands. Yes. This is fantastic. Over and over again in your readings, I keep on seeing success in business, in this thing, in this work thing, or whatever this is. And you're going to be getting a lot of recognition as well. I'm seeing your popularity rising. I keep on seeing new friends, but also just people around you who are interested in what you're doing with this work thing. Maybe you have a social media presence around this business thing. It might be that. But yeah, this is obviously victory. And to me, one of the reasons why this is going to be so successful for you, it's because of your authenticity. This is a white horse, and that can represent, honesty, innocence, the right intentions, all of that kind of thing. So I think people are going to pick up on that in this work or this business thing, and they're going to latch onto that. They're going to be like, okay, this represents honesty, this represents integrity. I can trust that. I'm going to go for that. That's what I'm seeing. So if that all resonates, and I really, really hope it does, just keep on doing whatever you're doing. You're on the right track. All right, so the last card you have for your futures, the Nine of Pentacles. This is really amazing. I mean, a lot of people have been getting really good work and money readings lately, and you're another one. But yeah, this is really obvious. Obviously, this is going to be a fantastic success, really good. Look at this woman. Look at how content she is as well. She has everything she needs. She's alone. So if this is all resonating, you are moving on from someone. You'll probably be alone for a while when it comes to new relationships, but you won't be alone when it comes to friends. I'm seeing that all over this reading. And also she's in a garden as well, so she's at peace. There's nothing really else to really say about this, apart from stay on this track and